Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, we will not only test your vocabulary, but also grammar to see whether or not you are advanced in English. We will quickly brush up on topics such as articles and inversion, as well as check your knowledge of idioms and advanced lexis items. As always, if you answer all the questions correctly, write the millinery down below. There are only 8 questions, so let's get to it.
Everything's in English.
All you need to know.
All right, how did you learn to speak English?
Question 1. Which of the idioms does not describe the picture on the screen? A. She is walking on air. B. She is in 7th heaven. C. She's on top of the moon. D. She's on cloud 9. And E. She's walking on sunshine. The answer is C. Congratulations! There is an idiom to be over the moon, so we should say she's over the moon, not she's on top of the moon. If you say that you are over the moon, you mean that you are very pleased about something. The other options on the list are idioms that have the same meaning. I can say, he understood now all those cliches about hard singing, feeling 10 feet tall, walking on air, and being on cloud 9. If you're very happy about something, you can also feel ecstatic, delighted, or thrilled. I was thrilled to meet the guy. Question 2. The word solely means A. Successfully, B. Alone, C. Merely, and D. Suddenly. B is correct. Good work! In this question, solely is an adverb that means without any others being included or involved. In fact, solely is another word for only or entirely. For instance, if your kid is dying to get a pet and finally you buy one, you can say, your new puppy is solely your responsibility. You have to feed it, walk it, and take care of it all by yourself. This means that it is only his or her responsibility and not anyone else's. Solely comes from the Latin sola, the feminine form of alone, and if you know other Romance languages, you'll recognize it in Italian solo, Spanish solamente, and French is seulement. In English, a solo is a song you sing yourself without others. Question 3. Choose the correct articles in the sentence. There are people who deprive themselves of something with the sole aim to draw the attention of society. A. 3 definite articles. B. 2 definite articles and then a 0 article. C. 2 0 articles and then the definite article. And D. 0 article, the definite article, and then 0 article again. Letter D is correct. We don't use articles with plural nouns when generalizing, and in this context, we mean people in general. We never use the definite article before society, as it always implies some generalization, unless we're talking about an organization. For instance, there is a movie, The Dead Poets Society. Finally, we need the definite article before the word attention, as a description with of follows it, which makes it specific. In fact, we have the plus noun plus of rule, which means that in most cases, if a description with of follows the noun, it takes the definite article. For instance, the number of people, the percentage of water, the amount of sugar, and so on. If you feel you're struggling with articles and keep making the same mistakes again and again, feel free to join our course From Advanced to Proficiency. In this course, I included all the topics that most of my students have problems with, such as articles, phrasal verbs, idioms, collocations, and synonyms, as well as many vocabulary items. Most importantly, we all know that the proficiency level is not only about knowing many new fancy words and grammar constructions. It is also largely about knowing how to use all of that effectively in writing and speaking. I know many people who keep scoring 6 out of 9 on their IELTS writing section, or cannot eloquently convey their ideas. This is why all lectures have practical activities, so you will get a chance to grade essays, describe pictures, summarize videos, find study programs at Harvard, and even design your own advertisement. So, if you struggle with writing and speaking on a more serious level, need to score high on language exams, or want to get closer to a native speaker's level, this is the course for you. Climb aboard, and we'll see you in our first lecture. Now, question 4. Which word is missing in the sentence? His mother took him to church with her, and coming home had him repeat the text and the sermon. A. Relocate. B. Solder. C. Titter. And D. Recapitulate. The correct answer is D. Nice job! In this question, recapitulate is a verb that means to go back and summarize briefly. At the end of an oral report, you might say, so to recapitulate, I've discussed 3 points. And then you name them. Recapitulate is a long, scary-looking word that actually means something simple and easy. It comes from the Latin re, again, and capitulum, which is chapter. Think of recapitulating or recapping, which is another word with a similar meaning, for short as putting nice little caps on the bottles you've opened up, tightening everything. If I give a lecture about economics, I can say, to recap, self-interest and competition are very important economic forces. Or, to recapitulate, all development rights and values were vested in the state. I can also use recapitulate in the middle of the sentence. I tried to recapitulate all the rude names James had ever called management. A sermon, by the way, is a talk on a religious or moral subject, usually the one given by a priest in church. So, the mother of the guy in the sentence asked him to summarize the sermon after he came home. Question 5. A person who is blamed for something that someone else did is all but A. a fall guy, B. a scapegoat, C. a patsy, and D. a victim. And the right answer is D. A fall guy and a patsy are informal expressions often used in North America to refer to somebody who is blamed for the wrongdoings or mistakes of others. For instance, Josh is a convenient fall guy. You can blame whatever you want on him and he won't even say anything. Or, I'm sick of being a patsy. Why am I always the one to blame? Same thing with scapegoat. This is a person who is blamed or punished for another's faults or actions. When things don't go well, people always look for a scapegoat. Question 6. This question tests your knowledge of an advanced grammar construction, which is called inversion. You need to choose the sentence that contains inversion. A. Not only has the advent of technology transformed the way people communicate, but it has also resulted in the world becoming one global village. B. Not only the advent of technology has transformed the way people communicate, but it has also resulted in the world becoming one global village. C. The advent of technology not only has transformed the way people communicate, but it has also resulted in the world becoming one global village. D. Had the advent of technology not only transformed the way people communicate, but it has also resulted in the world becoming one global village. 1 minute for you to think it through. And the right answer is A. While sentence C is also totally correct from a grammatical standpoint, the problem is that it doesn't have inversion. For those of you who don't know, inversion is a grammar construction when you change the order of a subject and a verb, or a subject and an auxiliary verb to make a question. We use it in questions from the very moment we start learning English. However, inversion can also be used in positive sentences. In this case, it becomes an emphatic construction, and its main goal is to put the emphasis on what we consider the most important part of the sentence. To form an inversion in this particular sentence, I will take not only from its position in the middle of the sentence, like in sentence C, and move it to the beginning of the sentence. Then I will take the first part of the sentence and invert the subject and the verb. They are creating inversion. The rest of the sentence remains unchanged. This way, my sentence is more dramatic and has more emphasis. Not only has the advent of technology transformed the way people communicate, but it has also resulted in the world becoming one global village. Question 7. Choose the correct sentence. A. The prices on property halved this year. Or B. The prices on property decreased twice this year. Sentence A is correct. Halve means to reduce something by half or divide something into two equal pieces. So, if the price changed from $20 to $10, it halved. Keep in mind that you cannot say decreased twice, as it means that there were two occasions on which the price declined. So sentence B is incorrect. If you want to say that the price changed from $10 to $20, it doubled, not increased twice. Question 8. The painter thinks of his work as more rigorous and meticulous than Impressionism. In this sentence, meticulous means A. Precise, B. Popular, C. Beautiful, and D. Modern. Option A is correct. In this question, meticulous is an adjective that means marked by precise accordance with the details. Someone who is meticulous pays great attention to detail. If that person is, say, your surgeon or your accountant, you'll definitely want them to be meticulous. The Latin root of meticulous is metis, which means fear. Someone who is meticulous is afraid of what will happen if they're not careful enough to get every detail right. Detail-oriented and perfectionists are other ways of describing someone who cares deeply about the small things and about getting things exactly right every time. Concert pianists must be meticulous because audiences are always listening for wrong notes. If I have a law firm and want to advertise it, I will say, our attorneys are known for meticulous trial preparation for all our cases. Speaking about my friend, I can also say that Josh is meticulous in everything he does. Well, let's call it a day. Don't forget to write the millionaire down below if you got all the questions correct. If you made some mistakes, share which questions prevented you from becoming a millionaire this time. I'll see you guys very soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.